Exotic Wall finishes here in the Sexywalls Podcast. I'm with a good friend of mine, Harold from Foster and Son. This guy's an electrician. He works in high-end homes. He's my electrician. I send him to all my projects, all that. Whenever we have issues with lighting, with anything, he's the guy to call. He is the man. He's such a professional at what he does. Harold, thank you so much for coming, man. I appreciate you. You know, you're the man. I have much love and respect for you. One thing that real recognizes real, and I know you're a real G, and you work so well, and I use you for my house, for all my projects. I even used you for here. So the question is, how long have you been an electrician?
My father's had the company since 1997.
Okay, so Foster and Son. So Foster is your father.
Yeah, so Foster is senior, and I'm the son.
Okay.
So we've been in business since 97.
97, all right. So that's like 30 something years.
Close to 30. Well, we're getting close to 30. You know, I do the residential part. He does the commercial part.
Okay.
I've been with him about 22, 23 years.
It's a long time.
I've been with him a long time.
Yeah,
I mean, dealing with your
decades.
working with your dad is heck, you know, it's good and it's bad.
Yes.
You know?
But now you have your own company, or you still work for him?
No, I still work for him. We're still one company. We just, you know, we break it down into teams.
Okay.
You know.
So you guys have a big crew
We do.
to work on the commercial side.
Correct. Which he runs that part.
Got it.
Right.
So you guys are the ones that come in when the drywall's there before, and you have all the
Way before
all
that. Yeah, we do construction. My specialty on my end is more new construction. I mean, if I have to do remodel, I'll do remodel. But there's so much work going on these days here in Miami that you can literally pick and choose.
Of course.
Oh yeah, there's so much work going on in Miami that you can literally pick and choose what you like, what you want, what benefits you the best.
So you guys come before there's drywall, before everything, right?
Before
so
everything.
boom, to set everything up. Then they
Right.
put the drywall up. After they put the drywall up, let's pretend in a house, in a
Right.
mansion. You come in after to start closing
Correct.
out different
That's
things.
what we call final trimming.
So you guys call the inspector to come to inspect your work?
Before even the drywall goes up,
They have to
we'll
inspect it.
request a rough inspection,
And then how about after?
a final inspection.
Final inspection.
Yeah, so once the drywall goes up, we'll come in, do the final trimming. Once everything, all the devices, the receptacles, the switches, the wall plates, you know, your panel is done, trim. That's when we come in, and once all of that is done, then you call for a final inspection.
So this is the big job, but how about big ass chandeliers that I see mansions are worth $50, $60, $100,000? You do that?
We do them. I
You
mean, it's
do
a big liability, but you know, if it needs to be done, we'll try our best.
So you need to have like what I have a
scaffold
liability of $2 million insurance.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Not just that, but also my dad, when he works in big commercial, he's also bonded.
Okay.
He needs to have that special bond.
Have you guys ever been through a crazy situation like a fire or anything like that?
We haven't.
Good.
Not a fire, but we did had a little incident where one of my workers popped a sprinkler head, and
Dude, I hate
You
that.
know?
It happened to me, to one of my piece of crap employees at a fire. He broke a sprinkler and the whole house got flooded.
and it was crazy, because it was something that could have been just prevented.
Yes.
You know, it's
simple.
so simple.
So-
He was just trying to throw the wire through the attic, and he didn't want. He
didn't want to walk through.
Well, not just that. We also have spikes, which we call fish tapes, where he could have literally tied it up, just put it through, and he would have pulled it. But he was just trying to throw it, and he did get it to the other side. But when he pulled it, it got tangled with a sprinkler head. He popped the sprinkler head, and we literally flooded pretty much.
Of course.
Big part of the building.
My guy with a dumb spatula kept going like this and hit it like 3 times, like retarded, man.
Okay.
I don't even want to talk about it because
It's crazy.
You see, I'm getting upset about it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't even want to talk about this subject. Let's change the subject to this.
My dad almost
let's
passed
forget
out.
about the sprinkler.
When my dad came to the site to see it, and he walked into that apartment, he almost passed out. He literally wanted to jump off the bed. He was something so, sadly you have to be so careful.
So let me ask you a question. I know it's more of a personal question, but I would like to know, and for the viewers to know too. In a big ass project like that you started from scratch, let's say a mansion, how do you even charge that? How does it even work for you to be from the beginning, from starting from zero,
From zero,
building
new
wood?
construction. So,
Yeah,
new
How do you
construction.
guys even charge that?
Well, how do we charge? How do we quote it? Or
how do you put the numbers together?
Well, first of all,
all right, it has 10 rooms,
right.
It has 5 rooms,
Right.
it has a kitchen, it has this.
Right.
So we have to put lights, we have to put electrical panels, we have to do the laundry.
So first of all, any project, you gotta have plans, full set of MVP,
Of
mechanical, electrical, plumbing. Once those plans are good to go and they're approved by the city, you give out a quote. So it's what we call a takeoff.
Yes.
So you literally start doing your takeoff, counting device, switches, outlets, receptacles, lights, the whole 9 yard. And that's how you come up with your price.
Of course.
And then once the shell contractor goes in, starts building, the perimeter walls, or even before that, you gotta run through FPL to speak to them in reference to where you're gonna put your meter, where your underground is gonna be going.
So all that has to be permits.
All of that.
Approved.
Typically, everything that you do needs to be done in permit. That is the law.
Got it. So let me ask you a question. So everything is set up, everything is approved. Then when they start building their house, they're like, oh, I actually want to put 2 more extra lights here, a sconso here. How does that work?
You can.
You don't have
you
to
can.
go through permits no
No,
more.
no,
Like,
well,
just
no.
adding stuff.
Well, typically you're supposed to, whatever you add on, you got to get it through the engineer, through the electrical engineer. That's called an artifact. And
electrical engineer, that's in your
that's
company?
mine, correct.
So
Right.
you have an engineer that works for you?
We do have an electrical engineer
Okay.
that works for us. But the owner of the project, so let's say you're building your house.
Yeah.
You could also hire your own electrical engineer, your own plumbing.
Or the
where
builder
it is.
might have
or,
one,
or
right?
the general contractor
Has
that you
one.
have has one.
Okay.
So, you could come and say, hey, Harold, listen, I also want a light here and I want a light there. Yeah, that's
How do
fine.
you become a engineer and
Oh, you got to go. So
how do you even have that?
So
working for
my
you?
dad
your
is my
that a
dad.
friend?
Well, no.
You're paying him just for a job, but he's full time with you guys?
No. That he gets paid based on what he does, based on the process.
So only when you need him, he comes.
Correct.
So
But this
he's not a
engineer-
full time employee.
No. But this engineer has his own firm.
Got it.
Yeah,
doing a
literally-
whole bunch of stuff like
absolutely.
that. Got it.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Because you could be a licensed electrician, a licensed contractor. That doesn't mean you're also an engineer.
Of course.
It's 2 different parties.
Got it.
But typically, the electrical contractor will do what the engineer puts on plans.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, you still have to go by the code, because you don't want an inspector coming out and telling you, hey, listen, but aren't you the electrician?
Exactly.
So
electrician in every aspect: pools, fountains, exterior, interior,
everything, the whole 9 yards.
You done pools before?
I have done pools
Okay,
before.
okay.
And pools are very, curious. You have to know exactly how to do pool, especially now, with all the perimeter bonding, the 4 points on the pools areas, on the handles and everything. But typically, like for example, when I've done projects before where the client hires their pool contractor, and that pool contractor has his own electrician.
Yeah.
So he does his own stuff. You don't tie in those permits
Yeah.
together. Usually it's something separate.
But a pool guy could call you and be like, yo, I want you to be
Absolutely.
my guy.
Yeah, if he has plans, if he has everything ready to go, absolutely. Typically everything that you do needs to be done through plans, through permits, and engineering and the whole 9 yard.
Well, one thing is that you're always gonna have work because everybody in the world needs lights.
Everyone.
Everybody. So
Electricians.
regardless, because every time I call you, you're always busy. You never have time to be like, yeah, I could just come over right now.
I don't.
You're always busy, and thank God that you trust me, that we're friends, that you give me the time and day, and you come over when you can, of course, and I appreciate that about you. But I know how busy you are. It's crazy that you're so busy all the time, bro.
It's really rare.
You still owe me things in my house. You still owe me things
But
in
I
my
haven't.
house.
It's really rare that you have called me and I have dropped what I'm doing and going. I can't.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
busy.
same thing
I have
with me.
to. I have
Same
to
thing with me.
schedule you, and I think that's something that a lot of people sometimes don't understand. We're not sitting around. I am not. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not sitting around just waiting for a call. Everyone is on the go. Everyone's busy. So, have that in mind when you call a contractor, whatever in whatever field it is. Be courteous.
Of course.
Let them book you. Let them put you on schedule, and then you go out and you take care of what needs to be done.
Of course. But there's contractors that call you emergency. Hey, I need you to move 1 inch to 2 inches. Some stupid stuff like that. Because I just did that in a job right now.
I mean, it all depends if you're available.
Exactly.
You can't look bad.
We're talking
to
about
go-
inches.
Yeah.
Oh, the mirror's gonna be here and it's right here. We need you to move it
Yeah.
3 inches out.
Yeah. If he's a contractor that I've been doing work with, I'll sacrifice myself. I'll go on a weekend, whatever it is. But if it's if I'm not gonna sell somebody out and look bad was to go, please, I'm sorry.
Of course.
It just doesn't work that way.
Exactly.
You know, even when you're doing a lot of work, you know, always try to fit what you can. Don't overdo yourself. Don't overlook.
Let me ask you a question. This happens to me all the time. I don't know if you do it, but every time I have problems with electricians, that they always love with a pencil right on walls.
Right on walls?
On walls, dry walls. Okay, here's gonna be bump, here's gonna be this, here's gonna be that. So I come and I see these pencil marks, and I'm like, and then I have to get a damn rag and take them off before I do the Venetian.
Nah, I don't do that.
But electricians do that.
They do. Some of them do. For example, what I do in new construction before the flooring goes, I have a spray can and I'll just typically just highlight everything on the floor. It makes it easier for me, my guys, the drywall guy, when he's putting up the drywall. He knows there was an outlet there, and if you didn't do the hole, then you cover it up. If there was a light there, so I literally just do like a floor layout for them. It helps everyone. Old timer taught me.
Yeah. Well, so, you did that for my backyard patio. You did that.
Yep.
So he does all my light work, guys. So if you need a professional, he's a guy. One thing about this, I have my daughter draw this because I've been trying to get this guy to come here since the beginning, and I don't know why he's shy, because he's a professional. Look, when you're a professional in something, you're confident about what you do. So this guy's confident. I can ask him any question, he can answer it, but he's super shy on the camera. So when he was here, he's doing something for me here right today. He's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm like, please. While he's saying no, my daughter's drawing. While he's saying no, my daughter's drawing. She draws the podcast, the Sexywalls Podcast. She draws him here saying no. And me right here. It's like, no. This is all happened within like 5 minutes from all this happening. It's really, really, really funny. But,
I will recommend, I always tell young kids, man, getting, if school is not something you really see yourself, get into a trade.
Exactly.
It's in such a high demand. Electricians, plumbing.
Is there enough electricians out there? Is there people going to school for electricians? So you need more.
You need a lot more. So what's happening is, a lot of electricians, old timers, are retiring from the union. And let's say, for example, 100 leave. But out of those 100, you're gonna get maybe 5 or 6 that are coming in newcomers.
Exactly.
So the volume of electricians that are leaving, it's much greater than what's being, and there's so much. You have a pretty good life.
Of course. So all right, like there was a research of when COVID came, there was watches, the watch Rolex and stuff. There's not that many watchmakers anymore. They're dying out, and nobody's going to school to become a watchmaker, to put watches together. So that's why it's a dying breed. Like look, in Italy, 200 doctors in Europe, 200 doctors died because of COVID. You know how hard it is to replace 200 doctors? 200 doctors died because of COVID because they're helping people. To replace 200 doctors is ridiculous. It's something like that. There's not that many people going to school for mechanics, airplane mechanics, electrician, stuff like that. So it's like a dying breed. Everybody thinks they want to get fast money. They want to just go to YouTube and make money. These little kids.
I tell a lot of the young kids, bro, listen, if you have a good life, learn a trade. The beginning is gonna be hard, like everything in life. Nothing that it's very. When you I want to see these huge results. It doesn't take this. You have to literally work your butt. You will see high-end results in the long run. But everything takes time.
So I know that you did the Armani, in Sunny Isles, the building, the Marni Casa building. I remember I helped him like encourage him to get the project because this is a huge project. He did all the condos, all the floors of it.
That was a very busy year.
And of course, Armani wanted cheaper prices because they gave me the contract to do all the condos too with walls. But the contract was super cheap, so I didn't really want it because we're talking about it's peanuts. And they offered him the project, and I told him to take it, and he took it, and you're very
It went
busy.
good. It went. 2020, 2021 was probably the busiest year I've had.
COVID time. Dude, I tripled my business during COVID.
COVID time was we were working 14. We was just booming. One time we went to work and everybody was so panicking about the pandemic. It's like a ghost town. Nobody was in the building except Foster and Son. We were there.
And it's out of often. It's just look, if you didn't become a hustler during COVID, you were never a hustler to begin with, man.
It was a good year.
Dude, I tripled my business in COVID.
It was a good year. It was probably the best year I ever had.
I agree.
It was a great year.
But guys, I wanna thank you for coming,
no problem,
man. I really appreciate you coming.
Finally,
you're a gentleman. Finally, I had to beg you, to come. But Harold, tell them how to find you. How they can find you.
You can reach us at Foster and Son Electrical Contractors, or 305-345-3134, which is my office, or 786-423-8905. But if you call, be courteous, have patience. There is a lot of work going on right now, so you might have to get put on that waiting list.
Well, seeing here with me, there's a waiting list for me too. But I'm sure he's more big timer than I am. Sorry. But guys, thank you so much for watching Sexywalls Podcast with Foster and Son. Guys, thank you.